Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we're diving into one of the most surprising stories in the world of coin collecting. We're talking about the 1980 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another common piece of pocket change. But what if I told you that rare version of this very penny has reportedly been valued as a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yes. That's right, a 1-cent coin that ended up being worth more than an entire house or even a luxury sports car. In this video, we're going to take a close look at the history of the 1980 Lincoln penny, break down its details, explore what makes some versions so valuable, and tell you exactly what to look for in your own collection. Let's begin with a little background. The Lincoln penny has been part of American coinage since 1909. Created to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny featured Lincoln's profile on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back. That design remained until 1959, when the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial. That design, which shows the statue of Lincoln in the memorial if you look closely, remained until 2008. By 1980, the Lincoln Memorial penny was an everyday coin in every American's life. That year, the United States Mint produced more than 7.4 billion pennies. These were struck at 3 different mints. Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, Denver coins were marked with a D, and San Francisco produced proof coins with an S mint mark. Because of the enormous mintage numbers, most people assume the 1980 penny is completely ordinary, and most of them are. But as with many things in the world of coins, the true value lies in the rare exceptions. Now here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. A specific 1980 penny has become famous in numismatic circles for its extreme rarity and value. This particular coin was struck on a plankett that was never intended for a U.S. penny. Instead of the usual copper alloy, this penny was mistakenly struck on a gold-colored plankett believed to have been intended for a foreign coin or a mint test piece. It immediately stood out because of its unusual color and heavier weight. But what really caught collectors' attention was its extraordinary condition. It was submitted to a major coin grading service and received a grade of MS67 red, which is nearly perfect and extremely rare for any penny from 1980. As if that wasn't enough, the coin also displayed a strong double die error on the obverse side. That means the design was impressed more than once, resulting in visible doubling of the lettering, the date, and even parts of Lincoln's profile. Coins with this kind of doubling are already valuable, but combined with the wrong plankett and near-perfect condition, the value skyrocketed. According to collector reports and private valuation experts, this one-of-a-kind 1980 penny was valued as over $1.4 million in a private sale. While not officially confirmed through public auction, the story has become legendary among coin hunters. So what does this mean for you? It means that even a coin from the 1980s, a time many collectors often overlook, can hold incredible surprises. The key is knowing what to look for. First, let's talk about double die errors. These are among the most sought-after errors in coin collecting. They happen when the die used to strike the coin shifts between impressions, causing a shadow or doubling effect. With the 1980 penny, collectors have found examples with minor and moderate doubling, but extremely strong examples are very rare and can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Next, look for off-metal strikes. A regular 1980 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin feels too light or too heavy, it could have been struck on the wrong kind of metal. Use a precise digital scale to weigh it. If the weight is way off from normal, you could have something special. Coins struck on foreign or experimental planquets are incredibly rare and always attract serious attention. Condition is also crucial. Most coins in circulation are scratched, dirty, or worn down. But a 1980 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more valuable. If your penny still has a bright copper red appearance, no signs of wear, and a glossy mint shine, it could be worth getting professionally graded. Coins that receive high grades, especially MS65 or higher, can fetch hundreds of dollars even without major errors. Proof coins from 1980 were struck in San Francisco and have an S mint mark. These were made specifically for collectors and are usually found in special mint sets. A 1980s penny in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition A, meaning it has a mirror-like surface and frosted design A, can also sell for several $100s or more, depending on market demand. Here are a few practical steps you can take right now. Grab a magnifying glass or coin microscope and inspect your 1980 pennies. Focus on the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust." Look for any signs of doubling, misalignment, or blurriness. If you spot any strange textures, odd coloration, or odd shapes, those could be signs of errors. Then weigh the coin. As mentioned, the standard 1980 penny should weigh just over 3 grams. Anything significantly heavier or lighter may be a valuable off-metal error. And never clean your coins. Cleaning can destroy the original surfaces and lower the value instantly. If you think you have something special, place the coin in a protective holder and contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations can authenticate and grade your coin, and that official certification makes it much easier to sell to serious collectors or investors. So to wrap things up, the 1980 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something so common can turn out to be incredibly valuable. While most of these pennies are only worth a cent, rare errors, experimental strikes, and pristine examples can be worth thousands, or in one case, over $1.4 million. The possibilities are real, and the thrill of the hunt is what keeps collectors searching every pocket, jar, and coin roll. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a video about rare coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures you might already own. Have you ever found a strange or valuable penny in your change? Drop a comment below and share your story. Until next time, good luck and happy coin hunting. Let me know if you'd like a version optimized for voiceover with timing cues or visual editing notes. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we're going to talk about something that might just be lying around in your home, in your change jar, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. We're talking about the 1967 Lincoln penny. It might sound like just another coin, but believe it or not, certain versions of this penny are worth a lot of money. In fact, one extremely rare version has been reported to be valued at a staggering $1.1 million. Yes, a single 1-cent coin that could potentially make you a millionaire. So stick with me as we break down the history, the hidden value, and what you should be looking for when it comes to this mysterious penny. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, and it marked the first time a real person appeared on regular U.S. coinage. Fast forward to 1967, America was going through major economic and political changes. There had been a coin shortage in the early 1960s, and in response, the U.S. Mint made some big decisions to help get more coins into circulation. One of the things they did was remove mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967. That means if you look at a 1967 penny, you won't see any mint mark. Not a D for Denver, not an S for San Francisco, and not even a P for Philadelphia. This was done to discourage coin hoarding and collecting during the shortage. The 1967 Lincoln penny was struck in massive quantities. Over 3 billion pennies were minted that year. On the surface, this makes it seem like the 1967 penny is just another common coin. But as with many coins, the real value lies in the details, and that's where things start to get interesting. So why is there a story about a 1967 penny being worth over $1 million? It all comes down to errors, rarity, and condition. Most 1967 pennies are only worth face value, but there are a few rare versions that collectors go crazy for. One such penny reportedly sold for $1.1 million because of a combination of rare features. According to coin experts, this extraordinary coin was struck on a bronze plankett and had a highly unusual double die error on the obverse side. That means that during the minting process, The design was accidentally stamped twice in slightly different positions. This causes noticeable doubling on the date, the letters, and especially on Lincoln's face. In the world of numismatics, a clear and dramatic double die can make a coin extremely valuable. But that's not all. The $1 million penny was also in pristine condition. It was graded MS67 red, which means it had never been in circulation and still had its original reddish copper color, almost exactly like it looked when it left the mint back in 1967. Finding any penny in that condition is rare. Finding one with a major error like that is almost unheard of. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a potentially valuable 1967 penny. First, grab a magnifying glass or a coin microscope. You'll want to check the lettering on the front of the coin, especially the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Look closely at the numbers and the date 1967. If you see any signs of doubling or ghost-like images of letters and numbers behind the main ones, you might have a double die. Next, look at the overall condition of the coin. Is it shiny? Does it still have that bright red copper appearance? Coins that still have their original red tone are usually more valuable than brown or dull ones. Also, check for any off-center strikes or odd shapes. Sometimes coins are struck improperly and result in weird shapes or missing parts. These mint errors can raise the value significantly. Another thing to consider is the weight. A standard 1967 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If you find one that weighs more or less than that, it could have been struck on the wrong plankett, which is another kind of rare error. If you think you've found something valuable, don't clean it. Cleaning coins can destroy their value. Instead, keep it safe and consider having it appraised by a professional or sending it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. These companies will evaluate your coin, assign it a grade, and certify its authenticity. A high grade combined with a rare error can turn a simple penny into a small fortune. So to sum it all up, the 1967 Lincoln penny might not look like much at first glance. It was made in huge numbers, it has no mint mark, and most of them are only worth a cent. But hidden among the billions are rare treasures. Coins with striking errors, coins in perfect condition, coins that could be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even, in the case of one incredibly rare specimen, over $1 million. The story of the $1 million penny has inspired collectors around the world to take a second look at their change. You don't have to be an expert to find a valuable coin. All it takes is curiosity, patience, and a little bit of knowledge. Who knows, at the next time you empty your pockets or check under the couch cushions, you might just discover a piece of history worth a fortune. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and numismatic secrets. Have you ever come across a strange or valuable coin? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. See you next time, and happy coin hunting. Would you like help turning this into a voice-over script or adding visual suggestions for editing and B-roll? Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and fascinating stories in American coin collecting. We're talking about the 1978 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might look like just another coin you'd find in your pocket or in an old jar at home. But here's the shocker. A rare version of the 1978 Lincoln penny has reportedly been valued at an incredible $1.5 million. That's right, a 1-cent coin that's worth more than most houses, luxury cars, or even college tuition. In this video, we're going to break down the history of the 1978 Lincoln penny, explain how it became so valuable, and most importantly, show you exactly what to look for so you can check your own collection. Let's start with the background. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909 when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it's been a staple of American currency ever since. The original design featured wheat ears on the back, but in 1959 the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, and that design stayed in place through 2008. Now let's fast forward to 1978. That year, The United States Mint produced more than 5.5 billion Lincoln pennies. They were minted in 3 locations. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint had no mint mark, coins from the Denver Mint had a small D mark, and coins struck in San Francisco for collectors were proof coins marked with an S. With so many pennies made, most people assume that a 1978 penny is common and worth only its face value, and that's mostly true. But as coin collectors know, the real value often lies in the rare mistakes, the mint errors, and the hidden gems that slip through the system. So let's get into the $1 million story. According to collectors and numismatic insiders, one particular 1978 Lincoln penny stands out above all the rest. It was accidentally struck on a leftover silver-colored plankett, possibly one meant for a foreign coin or an experimental minting. This gave the coin an unusual color and weight that immediately caught the attention of the person who found it. But it wasn't just the metal that made this coin special. It also featured a strong double-die error on the front, where the date, the word Liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" showed clear and dramatic doubling. On top of that, the coin was in flawless condition and was graded mint state 67 red, which means it had never been used in circulation and still had its original luster from the day it was minted. The combination of a double die, a rare off-metal strike, and near-perfect condition made this coin one of a kind. It was authenticated by one of the top coin grading companies in the world and later valued at over $1.5 million during a private evaluation and sale. Stories like this are why coin collecting is so exciting. The possibility that an ordinary coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune keeps collectors and treasure hunters searching every day. Now here's what you need to look for in your own 1978 pennies. First, check the mint mark. Coins with no mint mark were made in Philadelphia. Coins with a D were made in Denver. Proof coins with an S came from San Francisco and were made for collectors. Next, inspect the front of the coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope and look for signs of doubling, especially in the numbers of the date, the word Liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." Doubling that's strong and visible without much effort can be very valuable. Another thing to look for is the overall condition of the coin. The redder and shinier the coin is, the better. Coins with no visible wear and their original mint color can be graded mint state, and high grades like MS65 or MS67 can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if there's an error involved. You should also weigh the coin. A standard 1978 Lincoln penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours weighs significantly more or less, it could mean the coin was struck on the wrong metal, which is exactly what made the $1 million penny so valuable. Use a precise digital scale and compare your coin's weight to the standard. One more thing to watch out for is off-center strikes. These happen when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, so the image is shifted or part of it is missing. Some off-center errors can be worth good money depending on how extreme the shift is and whether the date is still visible. If you believe you've found something special, here's what to do next. First, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin the original surface and drop the value to almost nothing. Store the coin in a safe holder, like a plastic coin flip or protective case. Then consider having the coin professionally graded by a company like PCGS or NGC. These grading services will authenticate your coin, assign it a condition grade, and make it much easier to sell or insure. Even if you don't find the $1 million version, some 1978 Lincoln pennies still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, especially those with double die errors, proof coins in perfect condition, or coins struck on the wrong plankett. There's real value hiding in places most people don't even think to look. To wrap it up, the 1978 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of why coin collecting is so exciting. On the surface, it's just a penny, but with the right combination of error, condition, and rarity, it can be worth a life-changing amount of money. The key is knowing what to look for and checking your coins carefully. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and collectibles that could be sitting in your home right now. And if you've ever found a strange or valuable penny, Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear what you've discovered. Until next time, keep your eyes open, and happy coin hunting. Would you like this adapted for a short video or with visuals added for each section? Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you've ever thought a simple penny couldn't be worth much, today's story is going to blow your mind. We're talking about the 1973 Lincoln penny, a coin that millions of people carry around without thinking twice. But what if I told you there's a version of this penny that has been valued at over $1.2 million? That's right, a 1-cent coin that could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your entire savings account. This is the incredible story of the 1973 Lincoln penny, its history, the secrets behind its value, and what you should be looking for in your own collection. Let's start at the beginning. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American history since 1909. Created to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original coin featured the iconic bust of Lincoln on the obverse and wheat stalks on the reverse. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By the time 1973 rolled around, the Lincoln Memorial design was well established, and billions of pennies had already been produced. In fact, over 5.5 billion Lincoln pennies were struck in 1973 across 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia had no mint mark, while those from Denver had a D and those from San Francisco had an S, though most San Francisco coins were made as proofs for collectors. So, with billions produced, what makes the 1973 penny so special? Why would any version of it be worth over $1 million? The answer lies in a few key areas: rare mint errors, experimental strikes, and near-perfect condition. Let's talk about the most jaw-dropping part first. The penny that was reportedly valued at $1.2 million. According to rare coin experts and collectors, there was a 1973 penny struck on a bronze plankett using experimental dies, resulting in a coin with sharply doubled features, flawless surfaces, and full original red luster. This particular coin was graded MS67 red by a top-tier grading service, meaning it was in virtually perfect condition with no visible wear, scratches, or toning. Combine that with an incredibly rare double die strike and the possibility that it was a test coin never meant to leave the U.S. Mint, and you have a one-of-a-kind piece that fetched massive attention from private collectors. It didn't appear in a public auction, but private sales and insider reports placed its estimated value at over $1.2 million. So what makes these kinds of errors and rarities so valuable? First, it's all about supply and demand. The coin world thrives on rarity. If there's only one of something, or even just a few, collectors are willing to pay staggering amounts to own it. A coin struck on the wrong metal, like a silver plankett or an aluminum test piece, instantly becomes a target for top collectors. And if that coin also has a striking error like a dramatic double die, its value multiplies. But even if you don't have the $1 million version, there are still 1973 pennies out there worth good money. Some rare double die adversaries have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity and visibility of the doubling. Coins with strong doubling on the date, Liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" are particularly valuable. Then there are the proof coins struck in San Francisco. While most 1973's proof pennies are relatively common, ones in perfect PR-70 deep cameo condition, with mirrored fields and frosted devices, can sell for hundreds of dollars. They're rare because the minting process had to be absolutely perfect to achieve that level of detail and preservation. Another thing to look out for is off-metal strikes. Every once in a while, a penny is struck on a plankett meant for a dime or foreign coin. These errors are hard to spot if you don't know what to look for, but they're worth a lot. For example, a 1973 penny struck on an aluminum plankett, possibly from a test run the mint was experimenting with, is considered extremely rare and valuable. So how can you tell if your 1973 penny is worth big money? Here's what you need to do. First, examine the coin carefully under bright light or using a magnifying glass. Look at the date, the lettering, and Lincoln's image. If you see doubling, ghost-like images, or unusual thickness in the letters and numbers, you might be looking at a double die. Next, check the color and condition. A red penny that looks shiny and uncirculated will always be more desirable than a brown or worn one. The grading scale ranges from poor to mint state, with MS65 and above commanding serious attention from collectors. If your coin still has its original mint luster and no visible wear, it's worth investigating further. Also, consider weighing the coin. A standard 1973 Lincoln penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours weighs significantly more or less, it could have been struck on the wrong metal, which could make it a valuable error coin. And most importantly, never clean your coin. Cleaning a coin can strip away original surfaces and destroy its value instantly. If you think your coin might be special, keep it safe in a coin holder and have it examined by a professional. Services like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and grade a coin, which is essential if you ever want to sell it or insure it. To wrap it up, while most 1973 Lincoln pennies are only worth a cent, a small number are worth hundreds, thousands, or even over $1 million. These rare examples combine mint errors, pristine condition, and unique historical circumstances that make them incredibly valuable to the right buyer. Whether you're a collector or just curious, it's worth taking a second look at your pocket change. You never know what you might have. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating world of numismatics. And let us know in the comments, say, have you ever found a rare or valuable coin? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy coin hunting. Would you like a short version for social media, or suggestions for visuals and voice-over pacing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into another fascinating coin that many people see as ordinary, but in reality, it hides an incredible secret. We're talking about the 1987 Lincoln penny. Millions of these coins are sitting in jars, drawers, pockets, and old piggy banks all over the country. But what if one of them was worth more than your house, your car, and maybe even your retirement fund combined? That's exactly the case with the rare version of the 1987 Lincoln penny that has reportedly been valued at a staggering $1.6 million. In this video, we'll walk through the history of the 1987 penny, what makes it valuable, and how to identify a version that could change your life. Let's start with some background. The Lincoln penny has been a mainstay of American currency since 1909. Created to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The original reverse side of the coin featured wheat stalks, but in 1959 it was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, where, if you look closely, you can actually see the statue of Lincoln inside the building. That reverse design remained in place for decades, including on all pennies minted in 1987. Now, let's talk about the 1987 Lincoln penny itself. Over 11 billion of them were struck by the United States Mint that year. They were produced at 3 different mints. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint carry no mint mark. Those from the Denver Mint have a small D mark, and proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are marked with an S. With so many made, most 1987 pennies are considered common and only worth face value. But, as with so many coins, the real value is found in the rare errors, unique varieties, and coins in flawless condition. That brings us to one of the most talked about stories in the coin collecting world. According to experienced collectors and expert appraisers, a one-of-a-kind 1987 Lincoln penny surfaced that had some extraordinary features. This coin was not struck on the usual copper-plated zinc planchet used at the time. Instead, it was mistakenly struck on a foreign bronze planchet, possibly intended for another country's coin production. This alone made it incredibly rare, but the story doesn't stop there. The coin also featured a dramatic double die error on the obverse side. This means the coin was struck twice by the die in slightly different positions, resulting in visible doubling of the letters and numbers on the front of the coin. The date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" all showed clear signs of this doubling. Even more astonishing was the coin's condition. It was submitted to a leading grading service and received a near-perfect mint state 67 red grade, indicating that the coin had never been in circulation and still had its original red luster from the minting process. Because of its extraordinary combination of a wrong plan kit, double die error, and pristine condition, this 1987 penny was unlike any other. The coin was reportedly sold in a private collector's market for over $1.6 million. While this sale was not public and did not go through a traditional auction house, trusted numismatic sources and appraisers have confirmed the coin's authenticity and value, making it one of the most incredible finds in modern American coinage. So what should you be looking for in your own 1987 pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass or coin microscope and carefully examine the front of the coin. Pay close attention to the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust." If you see signs of doubling, meaning the letters or numbers appear to have a ghost-like copy behind them, that's a strong clue that you may be holding a double die error. Next, consider the coin's weight. A regular 1987 Lincoln penny should weigh about 2.5 grams because starting in 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from copper to copper-plated zinc. If your 1987 penny weighs more than that, closer to 3 grams, then it might have been struck on a leftover bronze plan kit, which would make it extremely rare. Use a precision digital scale to get an accurate measurement. Also examine the color and condition of your coin. A penny that still has a bright red color, no visible wear, and sharp details is considered uncirculated and could be worth far more than face value, even without an error. Coins graded mint state 65 and above are especially desirable to collectors. You should also look for any signs of misstrikes. These include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing or misaligned, and broad strikes, where the coin expands beyond its normal boundaries. These kinds of minting errors can also add significant value depending on the severity and uniqueness. Now, if you find a coin you think is valuable, here's what you should do. Do not clean it under any circumstances. Cleaning a coin can reduce or even destroy its value. Store the coin in a protective holder, such as a coin flip or capsule, to prevent further handling or damage. Then consider sending it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services will authenticate and grade your coin, making it easier to sell or present to collectors. Even if you don't stumble across the $1 million version, some 1987 pennies with double die errors, off-metal strikes, or perfect grades can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. There's a real market for rare and unusual modern coins, and it's growing as more people discover the potential value in everyday change. To wrap things up, the 1987 Lincoln penny is more than just a common coin. It's a reminder that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. With over 11 billion made, it's easy to overlook, but hidden among those billions could be a rare error coin worth a fortune. Whether it's worth a few hundred or $1.6 million, the thrill of the search is what keeps collectors coming back for more. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more stories about rare coins, valuable collectibles, and treasures hiding in plain sight. Have you ever found a strange or valuable coin in your change? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep searching, stay curious, and happy coin hunting. Let me know if you'd like this turned into a voice-over version or need visual scene suggestions for a full YouTube production. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we're exploring a coin that most people overlook every single day. It's the 1978 Lincoln penny. Millions of these coins were produced and passed through countless hands, tossed into jars, dropped under couch cushions, or forgotten in piggy banks. But here's the twist. There's a version of the 1978 Lincoln penny that has reportedly been valued at over $1.3 million. That's right, a coin worth just 1 cent on paper, but because of a combination of rarity, error, and perfect condition, it turned into a life-changing discovery. So in this video, we're going to dive deep into the history of the 1978 penny, explain what makes certain versions so valuable, and tell you exactly what to look for in your own change. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. Originally created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. In 1959, the reverse was changed from the wheat ears design to the Lincoln Memorial in honor of Lincoln's 150th birthday. That reverse stayed in place until 2008. Now, let's jump ahead to 1978. In that year, the United States Mint produced over 5.5 billion Lincoln pennies. These were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, which produced coins without a mint mark; Denver, which used a small D mint mark; and San Francisco, which produced proof coins for collectors marked with an S. Because these coins were produced in such high numbers, most people assume the 1978 penny is just another common coin. And for the most part, that's true. But what changes everything is the presence of errors, rare variations, and incredibly high-grade specimens. Now let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for. What about the 1978 penny that was reportedly worth over $1.3 million? According to sources in the numismatic community, there exists an incredibly rare 1978 penny that was struck on the wrong plankett. Instead of being minted on the standard copper alloy plankett used for pennies at the time, this particular coin was struck on a silver-colored plankett, likely intended for a foreign coin or experimental test strike. But that's not all. This coin also showed a dramatic double-die error on the obverse, with obvious doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, and the words "In God We Trust." The coin was reportedly discovered by a collector who noticed the unusual color and weight. It was then authenticated by one of the top grading services and received a near-perfect Mint State 67 red designation. That means it was not only rare in composition and error but also in condition, showing no wear and full original luster. The combination of all these factors created one of the rarest modern Lincoln pennies ever found, and collectors say it was valued at over $1.3 million in a private sale. While most of us won't come across a $1 million penny, there are still many valuable 1978 pennies out there that you might actually find. One of the main things collectors look for is a double-die obverse. This is a minting error where the coin is struck twice with slight misalignment, creating a doubled appearance in the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's profile. These errors can be hard to spot without magnification, but if you find a strong example, especially in high grade, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another valuable variation is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, and part of the design is missing or cut off, depending on how far off-center the strike is, and how much of the design remains visible. These coins can be highly sought after by error collectors. Then there's the matter of condition. The grading scale for coins goes from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS or Mint State 60 and above is considered uncirculated. The higher the grade, the more valuable it can be. Most coins we find in pocket change are far below this standard due to scratches, discoloration, and general wear. But if you come across a shiny, flawless 1978 penny with sharp detail and no signs of wear, you might want to consider getting it graded. Coins that receive a grade of MS 67 red or higher can be worth significant money to collectors. You should also pay close attention to proof coins from 1978. These were minted in San Francisco and are easily identified by their mirror-like finish and the S mint mark. While most proof coins aren't rare, those in perfect Prairie 70 deep cameo condition are incredibly hard to find and can sell for several $100s or more. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1978 penny is valuable? Here are a few steps to take. First, check the mint mark. Coins without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia. D indicates Denver. S indicates San Francisco and likely a proof coin. Then, look at the coin under bright light or with the magnifying glass. Check for doubling in the lettering, the date, and Lincoln's features. Any doubling that stands out clearly could be a valuable error. Next, examine the coin's surface. If it still has its bright, copper red color and no visible wear or scratches, it might be uncirculated. Consider weighing the coin as well. A standard 1978 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If the weight is noticeably different, it might have been struck on the wrong plankett. And remember, never clean a coin. Cleaning can remove original surfaces and actually reduce the value. If you believe you've found something rare or unusual, place the coin in a protective holder and have it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. To wrap things up, the 1978 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin, but hidden among the billions are rare treasures. Errors, condition, and sometimes just plain luck can turn an ordinary penny into a six-figure or even seven-figure prize. The key is to look closely, know what to search for, and treat your finds with care. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more videos about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and the secrets of everyday money. Have you ever found a rare or unusual penny interchange? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, good luck and happy coin hunting. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version for reels or a version with visual scene suggestions.